and welcome back. We are here to learn a scripting language, JavaScript. Now let us learn it in a fun and interesting way. In the last lecture, we learned about if-else and switch statements. So, time for the next concept in conditions and loops, which is while loop and for loop. Well, you all know the meaning of loop, right? Doing one thing again and again and again. That is what we are going to see today. Using loops, we can repeat a set of instructions until a specific condition is met. So first, let us see how many types of loops there are in every programming language. For loop, while loop, do while loop. For loop. For loop basically has three parts: initialization, condition, incrementation or decrementation. Let us see the syntax to understand the above points. For initialization, condition, incrementation, code block to be executed. After declaring a variable, it gets initialized in the for loop statement. Then the condition is checked. If it is true, the code will execute 1. After that, the incrementation will happen and then again the condition will be checked, displaying the rest of the results. When the condition becomes false, the loop breaks and control jumps out of the code. This is how a for loop works. Let us see a simple example. For let I equal to 0, I less than 5, I plus plus. Console.log. Output 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. In this code snippet, we declared a variable I. You can use any variable name, but most programmers prefer I when it comes to for loop. In the for loop, we initialized I with 0. Then the condition is checked on the variable and it is true. 0 is less than 5, so 0 is displayed. Then the incrementation of I results in 1. After incrementation, the condition is checked again and it is true. So the 1 gets displayed in the console. The same steps are followed until it becomes 6, resulting in the condition being false and control jumps out of the loop. Now remember, loop will be executed 5 times and we initialized the I at 0. So the loop will execute the number till 4. Now next type of loop is while loop. The while loop also loops through a block of code until a condition is satisfied. Syntax of while loop: while condition, code block to be executed. Initialization is done outside the loop and then the condition is checked. Lastly, the block of code is executed. Example of while loop: let I equal to 0 while I less than 4. Console.log I plus plus. Output 0, 1, 2, 3. This example states how a while loop works. First, we declared and initialized the variable to 0. Control goes to the while loop, the condition is checked. If the condition is true, the block of code will display 0. Lastly, we incremented the output by 1. Again, the condition is checked and if it is true, incrementation will take place. So the loop will run till the condition becomes false, which means I becomes 5. Control jumps out of the loop. Do not forget to increment your variable, otherwise it will go in an infinite loop and crash your browser. Now, the main difference between while loop and for loop is that mostly in for loop, the number of iterations is already known, and in while loop, the number of iterations is not known. We also have another loop concept, which is do while loop. In the do while loop, the block of code will execute once, even if the condition is false, and then it will repeat the loop as long as the condition is true. Syntax of do while loop: do, code block, while, condition. Now let us quickly see an example. Let I equal to 0. Do console.log I plus plus. While I less than 4, output 0, 1, 2, 3. After initializing the I to 0, the control goes to the do-while loop. First, the code will run once, even if the condition is not true. That means the 0 will be displayed on the console. After that, incrementation of I will take place. Then the condition is checked. 1 is less than 4. 1 will be displayed on the console. Then the loop will repeat till the condition is not true. While loop is an entry control loop. That means it checks the condition first, then the code will run. Whereas do-while loop is an exit control loop, meaning it checks the condition after the execution of a block of code once. So these are the types of loops you will need in JavaScript, and loops will make your code a little bit easier and less messier. An easy assignment for you guys now. Using for loop and while loop, display the first 20 numbers. So we will meet very soon in the next lecture with another very interesting concept. Till then, take care of yourself, stay safe.